G'day YouTube, warbles on a lot here. Since it started raining, I've been in a position to put rainwater down the hill, letting it siphon through the Aquarius pipeline. And when it gets down to the bottom of the hill, it gets to go through about 3 or 4 metres of some of the not quite completely flattened 25mm blackberry spraying hose, which made its way here from the deep water dump because it was sort of too good to leave at the dump when I saw it there that somebody else had thrown away. But it's not really, most of it, any good for actual deployment as a firefighting hose. But I did get the best bits of it, and I thought they were okay for transfer pipes and as a soft hose to go between the hard, inflexible poly pipe and the delivery lines coming from my remote water sources, going into soft, fragile plastic buoy walls, or an effectively equally fragile prism framed bag. The dump grade blackberry hose also sufficed for siphoning from number 1 buoy wall to number 2 buoy wall. But since the advent of a suction hose to connect to the remote delivery pipes, I've been able to use the suction hose as a siphon between the 2 buoy walls. And it turns out that what appears to be the limiting factor in the amount and the speed of the water going down to the dam from the buoy wall or the prism walls is, believe it or not, the squashed, constricted narrowings of the lumen in the terminal delivery pipes on the other side of the pump box down at the dam. It turns out that the speed at which you can siphon water out of the number 2 buoy wall and get it down the hill and into the dam, that dictates the speed at which you can siphon water out of the number 1 buoy wall to make room for more water coming in through the cascade line, which is being fed by the drums filling up from the roof of the hut. So I decided, in me wisdom, to splurge, shout myself 2 2-metre lengths of 25mm bushfire reel hose and make up a new set of transfer pipe and soft end pipe. And that means, at a bare minimum, 3 25mm Stortz fittings and clamps. And because one hose which gets a fitting at each end is going to be able to connect to itself in a loop and thus keep wasps and insects and crap out of the Stortz fittings, the other one is only going to get 1 Stortz fitting, so it'll need a dust cap. And on the principle that A, if you're going to do a thing, you've got to do it right, and B, if this is the system that's in use, then the existing setup is going to be the spare, and the spare is going to be in storage for long periods of time, so therefore we're going to need another dust cap for the spare soft tail hose. And what do you think that cost, eh? That stuff. Hose, 25mm black fire hose, 100-metre roll, PVC rated to 1200 kPa, made in Australia, sold off the 100-metre coil per metre, 4 metres, $6.66 per metre, so that cost $26.62. And that 25mm Stortz hose tail to go on the end. Stortz 25mm hose tail made in Germany to DIN standard, 3 of, at per each $27.42. So that costs more than that. And just for the fun of it, the dust cap with chain that I got for the spare set of hoses, $27.64 versus $27.42 for the actual hose tail. So the dust cap costs more than the hose tail that it protects. So whereas $26.62 would have in fact pretty much fixed the problem, which a lot of people would have said is not much of a problem anyway, the Warbles On A Lot properly engineered solution cost $148 extra, $174.74. The job properly. And I gotta say, this time I ran into a problem with the Stortz fittings. These locking lugs, which as you can see have a tiny weeny little chamfer ground onto their leading edge, and whoever the cretin in Germany was who put these things through the machine did not grind the chamfer deep enough. So Muggins here has just spent 2 hours on 4 sets of lugs, turning that which does not work into that which does. It's a fiddly job. It's a pain in the arse. And before I did it, none of these $27 bloody Stortz fittings, $27.42, none of them would connect. Clearly not the fault of the irrigation warehouse, who's imported these fittings from Germany in good faith, sold them to me in good faith. Clearly this is the fault of Herman the fucking German at the Stortz factory in Deutschland. That's who's turning out shit grade work, exporting it across the world, and people like me are losing half a day trying to make up 2 bits of bloody hose because of it. Not a happy chappy. Warbles On A Lot to YouTube. Ciao.